everyone, and welcome to the Dynamic Entrepreneurs. I'm your hostess, Jenny Edwards, and today I have an amazing guest, Debbi Dachinger. What's up, Debbi?
What's up?
Awesome. I'm so glad that you're here with us today.
Oh my God, me too. I feel like this has been a long time coming.
I know, since we met at the
finally.
New Media Summit, and I'm so inspired by all that you're sharing in the world. And so I'm really, really happy that you're participating in this and that you're going to be, sharing some great insights with our viewers. And for those of you that are watching that aren't familiar with Debbi, she's a media personality and media visibility expert who has been interviewed on over 1,000 media outlets. Whoa. She's also a syndicated award-winning radio and podcast host. And she's recently been nominated for 2 People's Choice Podcast Awards. She interviews celebrities on the red carpet, and she's a keynote speaker, a certified coach, and the author of 3 international best-selling books. Debbi coaches people on how to write a page-turner book and runs a company that guarantees your book becomes an international bestseller. That's pretty impressive. And she also teaches the ultimate visibility formula, how to be interviewed on radio and podcast shows in 60 days or less. And it's now in its 12th year. Debbi hosts the syndicated Dare to Dream podcast. Woohoo! That's pretty impressive for 12 years. And she also works with her clients on visibility strategies they use for free PR as the go-to experts. So I'm super excited to have you on the show today, and I'm thrilled for you to share what you have going on, girl.
I don't know. This is so cool. Because I could be very Italian and movement oriented as well.
Yeah, I love the movement.
An ecstatic dance kind of interview.
I like that. I love ecstatic dance.
Unique is so good. Let me tell you. Keep somebody's attention these days is really good.
If it's not fun, what's the point, right?
It's so true, by the way. It's so true in your life and in work. That's like literally how I'm balancing my life. I'm about to teach, a webinar as soon as you and I get off. And so people send me questions in advance. And it's funny because I'm literally teaching how to be interviewed, how to do podcasts, how to get on podcasts, how to be excellent. And this woman wrote in a question that has nothing to do with that, which is, how can I balance my life? And I thought, you just came to like the perfect person, because I'm so there right now. And it really, fun is the element. Like, where is it right and light? And that's where I go. So that's how I'm creating my life right now. And back to your question.
Yeah. So I was just going to have you, share a little bit more about what you do, which you kind of already started. How you teach people about visibility and how to be interviewed and how to get on podcasts and stuff like that.
You know what I really do, honestly. So, and I'm being up leveled right now, and I'm just going to keep this super real. Like, you're not going to get a cookie cutter anything from me, but you're going to get me. That's for sure. So I'm Debbi Dachinger, and really, I heal the healer. Really, I'm a teacher of teachers. What I do is I utilize particular aspects of myself that can access things in people and see where their strengths are and their weaknesses are. Since I'm a little kid, have always been doing something in the public eye. For the majority of my life, I was an actress and a singer. And when that changed, it was a big shock to me, because when you say identity, it's sort of like the inception, the egg met the sperm and created me. It was like,
Da, 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 da.
Da, 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 stage, microphone, the whole dealio. And so when that shifted, it was like, wow, what are we going to do with this? So it took 3 years, and then little pieces happen. I started my podcast. I wanted to reach more people to teach them how to create dreams at the time. And so I started writing books. And then, because I love creating big things, I was like, well, what would be a big experience here? Man, if I took all this time to write, and man, writing is a lot of work. Let me do something awesome. Why don't I turn it into a bestseller? My first book, I was so funny. I was just going after domestic bestseller, but it became an international bestseller, which caused a curiosity about that. And I'm a huge researcher. I'm a big person. Like, I'll map stuff out and try to understand it if I'm interested in it. If I'm not, I won't. And so I went after the international bestseller, and literally people started coming to me and saying, what are you doing? Like, can you teach me that? And then I started being interviewed, and I wanted to understand that process. What makes me so shitty? Because I was horrible the first time I was interviewed, like the worst. And so what made me so shitty? What makes all these other people have results? So it wasn't cool for me to be in pain or ineffective. So I decided to really flesh that out. And when I understood what it took, then I created this whole program. So the upshot is this: I do everything out in the world, in front of the mic, in front of the camera, on a red carpet, interviewing people. I teach, I coach groups and privates. How I work is, here is the literal, I believe in architecture from the ground up. Let me give you a really firm, solid base, and then we're going to build the walls and the floors, and then maybe we'll decorate when we're done. And I show everybody a system so they get it, and they're very slowly integrated. What I also do, besides the tech and strategy, is I'm an inside gal. So for people, healers, speakers, coaches, authors, entrepreneurs, everybody's got stuff, no matter where they're functioning. And so I help you with your stuff so that whatever gets in the way truly gets in the way of you being fully visible and free and received. That's what we work on.
Ooh, visible and free. I love that. So was there something like, what was your path that you were on, your journey? You mentioned, going back to, you were writing your book, you wrote a book, and then that propelled you into, the research of like why, how, and that's the transformation, right? Kind of from your hero's journey story. But then before that, like, what propelled you to want to even write the book? Was there something that you were doing in your life that you were like, there's a better way, there's something that I want to give back, or something that I need to share or make an impact in the world? Like, was there some turning point that you were, called to take on this whole new pathway? What was it for you?
Yeah. Jenny, I was really inspired by my listeners. My listeners were writing to me a lot, listening to my shows, because it's a transformational conversation. And I get, like, as far as I'm concerned, it's masterclass level. So for an hour, I'm just sitting there hungry, like, tell me more, curious. How does that work? How does that work for these incredible people? And I realized, as people writing into me, I was having an effect, and the work was having an effect, but there was more. And what if there was more of a manual? What if there was more of a way, like somebody, and this actually happened, and someone in Spain bought my book and wrote to me and said, oh, we've all got Dare to Dream, This Life Counts. This is your book. And we're sitting in a circle, and we've started a mastermind, and we're working with your book, and every week taking on a chapter so we can create our dreams. Oh my gosh, I'm not even Italian, but marron. It's like, it was so meaningful to me. Like, I'm built for this. Like, for me to say words and not have positive impact, it's like, it's nothing. Why be here? But if I'm going to do what I do, and I can really be clear, I'm facilitating something that is have meaning to people, it's moving them ahead. I love more than life when people come to me and say, look, I laid down money to work with you, and I got to say, I don't often have the result I'm doing with you. Like, this was worth what I paid and then some, because they're even saving money. And so it's so huge to me. So that was the book. It was like, how can I do that? And I did it at a time when no one was writing books. Now everybody wants to write, almost everybody wants to write a book, but back then really nobody did. So I think that's also, but it's also part of my path is to do sort of uncharted territory, like
Mm.
stepping out into places that haven't quite been explored yet. It was, you said something when we first started. You said, "I love your necklace," and I'm like, "Yeah, I made it." I used to be in the jewelry business. My story is incredible once I let go of acting and singing. And when I did jewelry, nobody was doing jewelry. It was a complete renaissance, and I was selling at very high-end stores, and until I didn't, until it became passe to me and I was ready for the next thing. So I've been very fortunate to be on the cutting edge or the cusp. And books were that way, but it also developed for me this really strong feeling for people who want to live out loud. When you have a voice and you love expressing it out in the world, and it's of import to you, it's part of your design, then find those places where it gives you joy to do it and you're clearly being received. That's when you know you're on the right path. And if books are for you, so beautiful to write a book, really is, to give birth to something like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Ooh, it's so inspiring. So, for those of you watching, what are your takeaways so far from this? What are you learning about your own experience, or maybe ways that you could be expanding your comfort zone, like Debbi was saying, and looking to the environment that you're in, or perhaps expanding that environment with more like-minded people, or people that are going to uplift you, or being part of a mastermind like Debbi mentioned, or creating a mastermind, leading one, and really stepping it up so that you can, feel the freedom from what impact that you can make, and really, feeling that joy. Because again, going back to the fun, if it's not fun, what's the point? Just making it fun and creating joy and doing what you feel amazing at doing and creating positive change.
Hmm. Yeah, yummy to all of that.
Yummy.
Yeah. And you have to have some of the background, like to do a mastermind and stuff, you really need to have some solid mileage behind you.
Yes. It's not
Working
for
with
everybody, but
people. It's
you
so
could
true.
join one for sure. And
Yeah, because
learn
you want people
learn how
to
it's
know your
done.
work, right? I mean, that's part of monetizing your business and being dynamic is, and again, it's not for everybody. Don't do stuff that's not for you. God, don't be like so many entrepreneurs trying to throw pasta on the wall to figure out
See
what's
what
for
sticks.
them, but you actually have the truth inside of you already, from
Mhm.
participating in them or just feeling into the vibration of the word. Does that work for me or not? But if it does, you do need some mileage of having worked with people. They know you, they like you, they know they get results, and then you make the offer.
Yeah. So tell us, Debbi, what are your insights? I know you mentioned some different things that you have done, insights about monetizing your message, or things that you could teach to our audience about where to begin, or how that they can be up leveling their message.
I'm really big on reverse engineering, just so you know. So the thing I like the most is to understand a dream first, and that would be indigenous to each of you so differently, but to understand your dream and then where you are right now realistically, and then we reverse engineer about how to get you there. The interesting thing, I mean, there are ways to obviously make money with books, without a doubt. There are whole strategies around sales, but I want to go from the interesting point of view that doing things that allow you to live out loud and be visible actually often create riches in different ways. What I mean by that is, let's say you do a book and you do choose to do the international bestseller, and it's on your bio and you can claim that you've got your awesome book. I mean, one of the ways, I'll just say this out loud, one of the ways that you can use your book to make some money is if you're speaking. Now, most of us know a lot of speaking gigs, unless you have a name, often you're not paid, or you've been doing it, again, have a lot of mileage. So one of the ways you can make money, though, speaking, is when you book your gig, ask the event person or whomever is in charge, hey, would you be willing to buy a book for each of your attendees who comes to hear me speak? I think you need to be a bit of a featured speaker for this to work, maybe not somebody, you know, amongst 10 or 20 other speakers. And especially if you're doing speak to sell, don't do this. But if you're literally being asked to go speak, then you can say, would you be willing to buy a book for each of your people? Let's say your book costs $20 and the event person says, great, you know, we have 100 people coming, and so they pay for it and the shipping, boom, it arrives and they put them all in the seat, or maybe you do a signing, whichever. The point is, the book does not cost us, the author, $20. It's about $3 to $4 wholesale. So you just made $16, $17 minus shipping for each of those books. And if you just had them buy 100 books, you understand, you've gone on the back end, ordered it for them with their money, ta-da. So it's a great way to make some money when you're going to speak. There's an idea. As far as, you know, podcasts, oh my God, like if you're not doing it and you have a message, people, step into the hand. You know, this is free. This is amazing. Podcasts, you can sell your books, do launches, fill workshops, find your community and tribe. Literally, it is a game changer. And then influencers who start to recognize, oh, you know, like Jenny's going viral. She's being interviewed everywhere. I really ought to pay attention to her because other people are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even if they don't listen and they just see you on social media being interviewed, your stock price goes way up and people start coming and saying, will you collaborate? Will you speak on a panel? I've got something on stage. I mean, it is a game changer and so important to understand how to do this, how to do the whole system really so you're effective when you have the opportunity. I would say one of the easiest ways is obviously have something free that you're offering. It's a report. It's a, maybe some people do this, it could be a lot of work, but for some people it works. Maybe you offer a mini strategy session so they get to know you and see you have talent. Some people will have a video or a series of videos, but there's a lot of free opt-ins. Open the door for the connection. You get the name, email, and they get a gift of value and content, and suddenly the connection is there. And of course, keep offering content. There are so many ways to up-level your life by doing anything that's visible. It opens tremendous doors. And for myself and my clients, it has been like Lucky Charms, you know, and getting to the other side of the rainbow. It's like, woof, there's the treasure.
There's a pot of gold waiting and a leprechaun.
And some of them was like that pot of gold we wanted, and some of them were gold bullions we didn't know were going to show up. So really, like learning how to message yourself, using your voice out in the world, it really is a game changer. It can exponentialize what you're doing and give you all that massive exposure for great success.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. Massive exposure. Woo! Creating freedom through visibility.
Make your money maker all the way to the bank.
Where's our DJ?
I have a feeling we're dancing to our own music anyway.
Yeah.
But can I say I really love this, these lights you have here that are sort of hiding your microphone almost.
Okay.
I see
Thank you.
But it's a very cool design.
Thank you. Thank you. Occasionally one of them gets a little too close to my head.
Then it's like E.T.
Yeah. Feel the power. So thank you. And I actually have a screen really similar to the one that you have behind you. So I think we have similar styles.
Like I said, if it's unique, if you're willing to be you out in the world, boy, that's the other element you want to know about making money and being dynamic. Look at her, right? I mean, really, you have to embody yourself, embrace, love, you know, flourish, encourage even more meanness, and not egoic at all and not narcissistic, but really, you know, we all came here built so different. Like there is no such thing as norm anywhere. There's just like, can I please fit in so I don't stick out? But that doesn't work. If you're watching us, I promise you, and you're our tribe, it's not you anyway. So, let even express yourself through your clothes and your jewelry and, all of this around you. It's so
Yeah.
delicious. And you can see visually what's going on for visibility.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like moving past any shame or, fear of being judged, and just stepping out, because all of those things fall away, at a certain point, at least for me in my life, that just, made me realize, like, okay, how am I gonna show up today? Because I want to inspire others to live out loud, also to be able to express themselves in a bigger way,
Mhm.
whatever that means for them, wherever they're at in their life. So I appreciate you, Debbie, that you have a similar, vision, and really coach people to step it up too. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. Because, the funny thing is that the myth is actually about being judged. I don't actually believe that exists. Maybe if you're in, high school or something, it's a little weird sometimes. But I mean, outside of that, I think the truth is we're rather loved, right? Our biggest celebrities are those who are like, yeah, I'm going to dress like this. I'm going to be like that. You know, our biggest rock stars, they're all like that. And the people in the industry, we don't look at the milky toast people and go, oh, I aspire to be that. No, it's somebody who talks different, walks different, acts different, whatever their combo platter is. That's what is so yummy. And
Yeah.
you stand out.
Yeah. I love that. Awesome.
The lobsters in the ocean are happy.
I love it. So, is there something that you wanted to offer to our audience today? Something awesome that you cooked up for us?
Yeah, this is one of the more fun interviews I've had in a while. Thank you. This is really good. Um, yes, everybody, my pleasure. So yeah, I'm going to offer you two things, and I'm going to just tell you up front, they're paid things, but I'm going to give you a dealio. Uh, First thing is an online program, and the second thing is a live work with me program. So for anybody out there who is a coach, is a speaker, is an author, is an entrepreneur, is a somebody who says, I got me a message and I'm ready to rock and roll and get some free PR. You don't want to pay a publicist and all that. Here are the two options for you. And you pick, like I said, what's light and right for you, right? Follow that energy. So the online program is called the Red Carpet Interview Mastery. And I have given you a link. Yes, I would
I'll be
absolutely
posting it
follow.
right here.
Perfect. And so our beautiful host was going to give you a link down below to click on. And it is a $597 program. I'm giving, like, this is the only audience for reals. I'm giving $300 off. So you can get it for $297. And it is the entire process, frankly, A to Z, including how to do your press media kit, how to be interviewed, what an interview comprises of, how to show up, how to take care of yourself so you don't have nerves, what to do after, how to purpose your interview. It's awesome. And if you would like to be coached and guided by me personally, I'm going to make an offer to you and include for Jenny's audience a free $500 session with me, a full-on visibility strategy, like let's roll up our sleeves and rock and roll and get you flying quickly. So that is called the Ultimate Visibility Formula. Powerful
Ooh.
class. It is with me on Zoom, so you can be anywhere in the world. DebbiD.net, and hopefully you'll look at the spelling of my name because ain't nothing like me, nothing like anybody else. So it's DEBBI. There's no E. DEBBID.net/visibility. And when you register there, when you sign up for the next class, I am going to gift you with that one-on-one session with me. And it is worth it. I have given people have walked out, and I mean pretty functioning entrepreneurs out in the world have left their course with me saying they finally know their message. They finally know how to articulate, whether 30 seconds or one paragraph, who they are and what they do and what they stand for and how they stand out. People, even though this is not how I catapult myself, but have complete brand stuff to start working on. And then they also know the whole system of being interviewed and stories and sound bites and the whole dealio. So if you're really ready to rock and roll and you want to, you want me by your side, debbid.net/visibility. And I got to tell you, I always attract the right people, the greatest people. We're such a wonderful community. So if that feels like you, register.
Awesome. Thanks, Debbie. Wow. That's really, really generous of you. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
well, I'm here to serve our people, and so thank you even for allowing me the space to connect with your people, so that they can know that this is available to them, right?
Yeah.
And I have to say, if you're not doing this and you have a business, why don't you want to be visible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you want to
What are
be?
you waiting for?
Yeah, that this has to be a branch in your business tree. Like this has to be. Podcasts are everything. There are 2 times every week. No, I believe it went up to 3 times the amount of podcasts rolling out every week. There are
Yeah.
57 million Americans who are listening to podcasts, and that's 5 times more than television. The numbers are exponential. And if you're not using them, you're missing a massive tool that would create so much ease in your space for being known and becoming an expert, and really like people knowing who you are and how to connect with you.
Yes. Awesome. So if this is resonating with you, take advantage of this opportunity because Debbie is a gem and she has a big heart and she loves to help people. And obviously she has a lot of experience working with people to up level their strategy and really get their message out there. So definitely take this opportunity. Yay, Debbie. I really appreciate all of your insights and your ideas and telling your story. So
Thank you.
good.
Yes. Thanks for having me. And thanks everybody for watching. This has been amazing. So
Yay.
honored.
Thank you all for tuning into this Dynamic Entrepreneurs and go out and have an incredible rest of your day.